There's a type of question that doesn't seek truth. It seeks control, and if you've ever felt that shiver down your spine, that uneasy twist in your gut when someone asked you something that sounded innocent but felt off, then this is for you. Because liars don't just lie with words, they lie with questions. Twisted questions, loaded questions, questions designed not to understand, but to manipulate. And once you know what they are, you'll never see the world the same again. Let's dive in deep, dark, and unfiltered, because we're about to tear apart the psychological games of manipulators using the same tools the Stoics used to see through deception and stay unbreakable in a world full of shadows. Welcome to Inner Stoic, where we uncover the truth beneath the surface and build unbreakable minds. Today we're diving into something critical. There's a type of question that doesn't seek truth. It seeks control. If you've ever felt that chill down your spine or that uneasy twist in your gut when someone asks something that sounds innocent but feels wrong, this video is for you, because liars don't just lie with words, they lie with questions, twisted questions, loaded questions, questions designed not to understand but to manipulate. And once you learn to recognize these traps, you'll never see the world the same way again. Let's dive deep, dark, and unfiltered, using the timeless wisdom of the Stoics to expose deception and stay unshakable in a world full of shadows. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Inner Stoic and hit the bell so you don't miss any future insights. If this video moves you, drop a like and leave a thoughtful comment. We read every one. Now, let's get into it. 1. Why are you being so sensitive? This isn't a question. It's a trap wrapped in fake concern. A classic gaslighting grenade tossed your way to make you second-guess your sanity. On the surface, it sounds like a mild accusation. But underneath, it's a calculated psychological move. What they're really saying is this: I'm about to cross your boundaries and I need you to feel guilty for noticing. It's a manipulation tactic cloaked in casual words, and its goal is simple: to get you to doubt your reality. Because if they can make you believe you're too emotional or too reactive, they win. They get to keep hurting you while you stay silent, stuck in self-doubt. But here's the truth: sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness. It's the early warning system of the soul. It means you feel when something is off, you notice what others ignore. And in a world that glorifies emotional detachment, the person who feels deeply becomes dangerous. Because they're hard to fool. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And this is precisely what gaslighters prey on. Your imagination, your doubts, your inner voice that whispers, maybe it's just me. But it's not just you, it's them. And their fear is not your sensitivity. It's that your sensitivity exposes the cracks in their lies. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, captured this with razor-sharp clarity. If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is the truth I seek. So ask yourself, is this person pointing something out to help you grow? Or are they using your emotions to make you shrink? Because someone who truly respects you will never mock your emotional awareness. They will honor it. They will be grateful for it. Only the ones who wish to manipulate you will turn your intuition into a flaw. So next time someone throws, "Why are you being so sensitive?" at you, breathe deeply, look them in the eyes, and respond with calm steel. I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant. Are you uncomfortable with that? And then, watch the mask slip. Because liars don't fear confrontation. They fear clarity, and nothing is clearer than a person who feels deeply, thinks clearly, and refuses to apologize for it. 2. You trust me, right? It sounds gentle, almost loving, but don't be fooled. This isn't a question. It's a velvet-wrapped snare. Behind those 5 little words is something far more dangerous. A silent command to surrender your reason. Anyone who feels the need to ask for trust rather than earn it has already betrayed your confidence in some way. A truly trustworthy person doesn't need to beg for belief. They live in a way that inspires it. But a manipulator, a liar, they demand trust like a tyrant demands loyalty, not to protect you, but to protect themselves from being exposed. This question is a psychological ambush. It isn't about connection, it's about control. It pressures you to ignore your logic, to silence that quiet instinct whispering, something's off, to feel guilty for being cautious. And once guilt settles in, they can walk right past your defenses into the most vulnerable places of your life. Epictetus warned us well. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. And this is exactly why manipulators ask, "You trust me, right?" Because if you say yes, you've just signed a silent contract not to question anything further. You've just given them permission to deceive you, and worse, to make you blame yourself for it. But the Stoic doesn't fall for such games. The Stoic applies apatheia, calm indifference, emotional equilibrium. The Stoic does not rush. The Stoic does not flinch. So when someone drops this line on you, pause, breathe, and instead of reacting, observe. Look past the charm, study the timing, question why they needed to ask in the first place. Then say in a voice steady and firm, "Trust is built through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment?" That one sentence, it pierces the mask, and what follows is always revealing. A liar will squirm, they'll dodge, they'll get defensive, or worse, they'll turn angry. Let them, because the truth is this: anyone who truly values your trust will never fear your caution. Only a deceiver is threatened by your clarity, so protect your mind, protect your instincts, protect your peace. Trust is sacred, and sacred things should never be handed over under pressure. Let your boundaries be your fortress, let your observation be your sword, and never forget, it's not unkind to be careful, it's unwise not to be. 3. Are you accusing me of something? This isn't an innocent question. It's a calculated deflection. When a liar feels the walls closing in, when your intuition edges too close to the truth, they don't come clean. They reframe your curiosity as an attack. Suddenly, you're no longer the one seeking clarity. You're the one on trial. Just like that, the conversation flips. You become the villain, the one with the audacity to question. And while you scramble to explain that no, you weren't trying to accuse anyone, you were just asking, you've already lost ground. You're apologizing, you're backpedaling, you're defending yourself instead of exposing them. This question, "Are you accusing me of something?" isn't about truth. It's about fear. It's a smoke bomb designed to cloud your logic and trigger your panic. And that panic is what liars feed on. They want your mind to race so fast you forget what you were even asking in the first place. But here's what the Stoics teach us. Control begins with the self. The first step toward wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to wait. But make no mistake, silence is not surrender. It's strategy. It's strength. It's the art of choosing your moment with precision, not emotion. So when someone throws this line at you, when they say with exaggerated innocence, "Are you accusing me of something?" don't rush to answer. Pause. Hold eye contact. Let the silence stretch just long enough to make them feel its weight. Then calmly, almost gently say, "Should I be?" That sentence, it hits harder than any accusation because it forces them to face the question they were trying to run from, and in that moment something subtle but powerful happens. You flip the script back. 9 times out of 10 they'll hesitate, stammer, change the subject, get flustered. Because liars are prepared for defensiveness, not poise. They expect panic, not power. Remember, you don't need to yell to expose the truth. You don't even need to accuse. All you need is clarity, stillness, and the courage to stand your ground. And often, that's more than enough to shake a liar to their core. 4. Would I ever lie to you? Now this one is poison wrapped in velvet. It sounds soft, disarming, almost flattering, but make no mistake, it's not a question. It's a performance. It's meant to charm you, to pull your focus away from reason and into illusion. They don't want the truth. They want applause. They want you to look at them and think, "No, you could never." That's the act. The illusion of innocence so strong it makes you feel guilty for even having doubts. But pause. Look closer. Ask yourself, why would someone say this unless they already know you're close to the truth? Why the sudden urge to be seen as angelic unless they fear you're starting to see the devil in the details? The Stoics warned us, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others, for it hinders your understanding of what is. And that's exactly what this question does. It pulls you into speculation, not observation. It tempts you to abandon your inner compass and replace it with their stage show. But remember, truth doesn't need theater. Integrity never needs a performance. So when someone locks eyes with you and says, "Would I ever lie to you?" don't take the bait. Don't comfort them. Don't deny your instincts to soothe their ego. Instead, pause. Let the silence settle, and then respond, calm and steady. That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did? That line, it slices right through the fog, because liars operate in darkness, in confusion, doubt, and emotional fog. But with that question, you flip on the floodlight. Now they're the one unsure. Now they have to wonder what you see. Now you are the one in control. You don't accuse. You don't raise your voice. You simply make it clear you are awake. You are watching. And you will not be hypnotized by charm. A liar thrives when you hand them the benefit of the doubt. A Stoic thrives when they hold on to the benefit of awareness. So keep your eyes sharp. Keep your voice calm. And never forget, the truth doesn't beg to be believed. It simply is. 5. Can't we just move on from this? This isn't a request, it's a tactic, a psychological sleight of hand disguised as peacekeeping. But listen closely because the translation is clear. I don't want to be held accountable. This is the liar's final move, their last defense. Not logic, not clarity, but exhaustion. They're betting on your fatigue. They're hoping that after enough back and forth, enough emotional spinning, you'll surrender. Not to peace, but to weariness, and that's the trap. Because they know you're not giving up because the truth was found. You're giving up because you're tired of digging for it. And that's exactly how deception survives, not by being hidden well, but by making the truth feel too heavy to carry. But the Stoics warned us against this kind of surrender. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's the standard, not what feels easiest, not what keeps the peace. But what is right? Liars don't fear confrontation. They fear persistence. Because the longer you stay in the room, the more the lies start to collapse under their own weight. And once you start connecting the dots, once the pattern emerges, it's game over. So when they plead with that tired voice, can't we just move on from this? Don't flinch. Don't fold. Refuse to be rushed. Because here's the truth. The truth has no expiration date. And closure without clarity is just a beautifully wrapped lie. Look them in the eyes, steady and unshaken, and say, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." Say it slowly, say it without emotion. That's what rattles them most, your calm certainty. Because it means you're anchored in truth, and people anchored in truth cannot be pushed, pulled, or guilt-tripped out of their position. They'll hate it. They'll get uncomfortable. They might call you dramatic, unforgiving, or difficult. Let them. Because your peace was never meant to be built on silence. It's built on understanding, and understanding takes time, patience, and the courage to stay in the uncomfortable space until the answers come forward. So no, you won't move on just yet, because you're not here to forget. You're here to see clearly. Final warning. Liars don't just lie with words, they lie with feelings. They twist your perception until you can't tell if you're the one losing your mind. They'll make you feel guilty for being smart, ashamed for asking questions, cold for being logical, unreasonable for having standards. They'll spin the narrative until you become the villain in their story, just for noticing the plot holes. But understand this. You are not broken for having boundaries. You are not cruel for asking hard questions. You are not paranoid for wanting the truth. You are not too much for wanting peace that isn't built on lies. You're just awake, and most people hate the awake ones because they can't be controlled. They can't be manipulated. They see through the veil. The Stoics didn't seek comfort. They sought clarity. They trained their minds to remain sharp in a world built to dull you down because they knew a brutal truth. A man who sees clearly becomes dangerous. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't beg for loyalty. He doesn't explain his standards. And he cannot be seduced by false flattery, fake humility, or manipulative innocence. So remember these 5 red flag questions. Each one is a chess move designed to blind you. Each one is bait wrapped in sugar. But now you know the game. Now you know the tactics. Now you're the player, not the pawn. And pawns, they get sacrificed. But players, they win. The fire drill of truth. Every time someone makes you feel off balance, run a mental drill. Is this person seeking truth or control? Am I being guilted into silence? Would Marcus or Seneca tolerate this kind of question? What happens if I don't answer? Who gets uncomfortable? Would I say this is healthy if I watched it happen to a friend? If the answer stings, trust it. If your gut knots up, don't ignore it. Your instinct isn't broken, it's under attack. Liars prey on those who doubt themselves. Stoics train themselves to never flinch. And now, so can you. Not by fighting with anger, but with awareness. Not by being aggressive, but by being unshakable. And that makes you dangerous, because when you can sit calmly in front of a liar and see right through them, you've already won. Thank you for standing strong with Inner Stoic today. Remember, liars don't just twist facts. They twist your feelings, your perception, even your sense of reality. But you are not broken for having boundaries. You are not paranoid for seeking truth. You are simply awake, and that makes you dangerous. The Stoics didn't chase comfort, they chased clarity. They trained to see clearly in a foggy world, and so can you. If this message resonated, subscribe for more truth that sharpens your mind and steadies your soul. Hit the notification bell to stay ready for what's next. Leave a powerful comment below and share your thoughts or experiences with manipulation. Your voice is part of this journey. Stay calm, stay aware, stay unbreakable. Until next time, this is Inner Stoic, reminding you, the truth is your strongest weapon. Use it wisely.